Welcome to episode 66 of Oscar Sunday. I'm Austin Johnson.
I'm Connor Eyzaguirre.
And we have a very special episode today talking about Minding the Gap from 2018, a documentary that was nominated for Best Documentary at the 91st Academy Awards. It lost to Free Solo and didn't get any other nominations because it's very hard for a documentary to do anything else because it's not a typical film you would see at the Oscars, and they basically made a category for movies like this to put them. We're going to put them in their place. And Minding the Gap is the first documentary that we've covered on this show, so it's completely new territory for us. I don't have anything special or extra prepared for this because this movie it's an hour and a half long, but it has just miles and miles and miles of thoughts going through it and ideas and amazing topics to just kind of talk about. And I've seen it maybe 10 times now. I first saw it on Hulu, where it kind of made its word of mouth. It got around in 2018 during the fall. It came out in August on Hulu of 2018. And yeah, during that fall, I remember people like, holy shit, this is one of the best movies of the year, flat out. So I had to watch it. And I remember vividly where I was when I first watched it and just kind of the chilling effect it had on me. And it still has that effect today. I bought it on DVD because Criterion put it out. It's a really, really cool case of Bing and Zach and Keir all in the front. It's just gorgeous. And I'm very happy to finally do this because I've always wanted to do something on Minding the Gap. And this is the place to do it because it was nominated for an Oscar. So on Oscar Sunday, I'm glad to show this movie to you through this show. Done that a few times, but this is the most personal to me. And I'm very curious to hear your general thoughts after watching it for the first time. Just how did you take it in? Was it something that you latched onto right away, or is it something you're kind of done with after watching it?
It was kind of a gradual process for me. At first, we see them skateboarding, and I'm like, okay, because I don't know anything about the skateboarding scene. I didn't grow up with that or having any interest in that. So I'm like, all right, let's ride this out. And then it takes a turn. And it suddenly starts becoming about identity and finding your place in the world and coming to terms with your past and dealing with abuse and dealing with the fallout of abuse and just a world that I'm, again, not familiar with, but I know people who are. And it's a very touching story. And I was not expecting that. I was expecting this to be about underground skateboarding. And I'm actually very glad you didn't tell me that it wasn't. You let me find my own way there.
Yeah.
And it's structured like a typical narrative. It's emotional. It's real. And I couldn't believe it. So yeah. It's pretty raw, it's pretty much in its own category of here's snippets of very, very real life with these young men, Bing Liu, Zach Mulligan, and Keir Johnson. Those are kind of the three main players. And it just doesn't hold back. It just does not hold back one bit. And it's amazing what it accomplishes in an hour and a half. This could be a 10-part, series, it could be a mini series of some sort, but Bing decided to make this kind of, feature type film inside of these skate montages and little things from parties and stuff. It just adds up into this just perfect little mashup of an hour and a half movie. Well, I think that was really smart because I know what I want to do with my time most of the time. And I think, I could fit in an hour and a half documentary here if a friend recommends it. But if somebody recommends to me a 10-part miniseries, I'm going to be like, well, I don't know if I want to have that kind of commitment. But, putting this into I think he made it more accessible.
Yes.
And that was smart.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think it being on Hulu, this major streaming service where people are just going to slip up on it. And like you said, you see that hour and a half runtime, you're like, fuck it,
Yeah.
It just kind of shattered the award circuit. Just kind of showed up over and over at the Sundance Film Festival, of course the Academy Awards, all these different things that it just kept showing up at, and became this like cultural phenomenon where you have to see this movie about these three kids who are skateboarding, and and that is so cool. Right around this time in 2018, that fall is when I took you to see Mid-90s, Jonah Hill's directorial debut. I think Mid-90s and Minding the Gap is a great double feature, both very short, both accessible, and very entertaining. And one of them is very much documentary, and the other one is completely, fictional and has these characters that are kind of made up, but both super powerful. What Minding the Gap accomplishes, though, that's just way different than that, is the identity thing that you pointed out. It forces you to kind of confront what you think about, specifically Zach Mulligan. This guy just like ruins me every time I watch this movie. His journey is very dark, very winding and turning and all over the place. At one point brings him to Denver, Colorado, and then back over to Rockford, Illinois. And he has a child in the movie. And his decision-making is, you're like rooting for him, but you expect him to keep tripping. You're like, come on, man. Like, come on, Zach, come on. Like, you got this, dude. Cause you see something there, you see something that Bing saw. And Bing Liu, the director of the movie, and he's one of the stars of the movie and a very good skater. You can tell that it's filmed by a skater. You can tell it's filmed by someone who knows the sport, who loves the sport, who participates in the sport. And that is so huge because there's so many skating movies that just can't quite do that, where you're inside of a skate video, the way it's filmed. And he's fucking good at it, right from the get-go. The beautiful theme music is playing, and you see these guys just fucking cruising down the streets of Rockford, Illinois. And it's like, man, that guy's the director. He's the director of this beautiful movie, and it works so well because he knows the sport, but he doesn't hold it over our heads. You don't have to be a fan of skating. Like you said, you're not very familiar with the sport, or you can be a huge fan. Like I love the sport of skateboarding. I think it's really cool how it's more culturally appreciated and welcomed these days, where it used to be this thing that people just got in trouble for all the time. It's more accepted generally now, and for Bing to kind of capture that part of the sport is so cool. On top of the identity crisis that these guys are all having, dealing with abuse and relationships and working and all these massive ideas. I'm so excited to do it today. I have so much to say about it. Every scene is really important to me. So we do have awards we're going to give out to the movie later on. We're definitely going to take a glance at the 91st Academy Awards because it's awesome. There's a lot of really cool movies represented that year from 2018. But Mind the Gap's my favorite. It's my favorite of all of these, including, Roma and The Favorite and all these awesome films. Black Klansman. What else? Just off the top of my head, Stars Born, Can You Ever Forgive Me? Vice, Bohemian Rhapsody, At Eternity's Gate, Cold War is awesome. A lot of really cool movies, but Black Panther, if Beale Street Could Talk, both movies we've done on this show, there's none of them come close to like what Mind the Gap does for me as a fan. And so I'm very excited to kind of tackle this Academy Awards with that film. It's definitely one of the more rare categories to kind of look at and observe, and we've never done it here, which is why I don't normally I like to do something kind of fun to start the show off, but I think this movie deserves our full attention. I think it deserves, to be broken down bit by bit. And I kind of want to start going. I just want to go through each person and kind of get your idea on these guys. And start with Bing Liu. Bing Liu, if you look at his IMDb, it's actually really impressive. He's worked on a lot of movies as a camera assistant, or in some department dealing with camera work. The guy clearly knows his way behind the lens and very much cares about it. But he's also dabbled in documentaries, and I think he's a force to be reckoned with. He's only 31 right now, and the guy clearly wants to push some kind of a narrative that's just different than everything else. And I'm really excited to see where he goes from here, because this is just 3 years ago, and I think being Kier Johnson is now a professional skateboarder. Fantastic. He's making money doing that. I've been following him on Instagram ever since I watched the movie, and he seems to be doing really well with his skating. But Bing Liu is a movie guy. He's now a movie guy and has worked on TV shows and all kinds of stuff. So what do you think of Bing and just kind of his approach and his control with this project?
I thought that he was the right person to be behind this one, because I think Kier and Zach both clearly had their demons. But I feel like Bing, he had them too, but he's managed to channel that into this film. Like the scenes with him, interviewing his mom. Oof. I mean, Jesus Christ, to look somebody you love in the eye and say, "Why didn't you help me?" I mean, I can't imagine. And I liked how he did make this more about confrontation. This was about coming to terms with shit that they've been dealing with their whole life and never talked about. But skating was Kier says it at one point. He says it's like doing this is like free therapy. And the skating was their only way to feel like everything was going to be okay. And they still have that. That's why they're still doing this. Their lives are still in need of some release. And Bing captured that so well, because this was his story too. This was his life. And who better to tell that than someone who'd lived it? It was great. And he actually has a new one a new doc that came out in June.
Yeah. I haven't seen that yet. Yeah. I've heard it's great. Yeah. Yeah.
So I wish him a lot of luck in the future. I mean, he's an Academy Award nominated director now, which is fucking crazy. So I think he's going to have some interesting things to say in the near future as a documentarian.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think he's like a borderline genius. The fact that he could catch this in his teenage years, somewhere near the beginning of the film, we find out that at one point Bing is 17, Zach is 15, and I think Kier is 12. So there's a pretty big gap there. But he's able to, at that time, if I film everything, I'm going to get something out of this. This is way too interesting, way too amazing. How honest these people are.
Yeah.
And how just kind of convoluted and at sometimes terrible their lives are. Just crazy intuition to be able to kind of see that at that age and then make a movie out of it in his 20s is so fucking cool. I love when the skate shop owner is talking about Bing and talking about how Bing used to come into the skate shop just to unload and just kind of be there. But he was so quiet. He'd sit in the back, he's like, and I knew there was some huge, massive weight on it, on his shoulders. And he's like, I wish I would have asked him what it was. He's at one point he said he thought he was gay. He's like, maybe Bing is gay. And he's like, no, man, no, that's not it. There's something weighing on this dude that's just kind of they just become a part of who he is. And those little shots of him, at the beginning when he's like, you ready for some intense fucking shit? And then he does take one. And then when he's skating by himself and he's just getting angry and throwing his board, when he's talking to his half brother about their house and going through the house, that's one of the most haunting things I've ever seen. Any horror movie just can't like stack up to that realism of two dudes walking through a home talking about the abuse they went through and talking about just the day-to-day struggle of our dad hates us, hates our fucking guts. And for Bing to go through that and come out on top and leave this piece of art is like, that's fucking admirable. It's amazing. And so Bing lose a name, no matter what, if he never did anything again when it comes to movies, I'll never forget his name. I'll never forget who he is, because this is that special. It's like, if you leave something like this because you had that intuition to see this could help a lot of people, and it's helped me just kind of like, holy shit, it's okay to process that stuff. And I love him to death. I love his work. I cannot wait to see what else he does. And his camera work in this movie is bonkers. It's like right from the beginning when they're fucking the first shot is Zach climbing and Kier's like, we always just kind of ignore the trespassing signs, and Zach's like, come on, we didn't see those. The way that's all shot of them going up the ladder and then skating and going into Zach's monologue is like, fuck, we have a filmmaker in our hands, and that's really special.
I really appreciated the filler shots of the billboards. I thought that was really smart, almost like chapter headings. It was really, he definitely has a style about him, and he didn't want this to come across as like a 60 minutes interview. He wanted this to be a movie.
Yes.
Very cool.
with shots that aren't just I totally agree with you. I think it sets itself apart from the typical documentary, going from interview to interview to interview, because of those movie like shots. And even at the very end of the film, when we see Kier driving away as he's about to move from Rockford to Denver, that shot is fucking incredible. Overhead the highway. Like, what? I know my mind went to, well, fuck, he must have texted Kier, dude, let me know when you're leaving. I'm going to be in this spot. Let me know when you're on this part of the fucking highway, and I'm going to get this shot. I'm going to make this happen, because it's the perfect closing shot to our movie, is you moving on, becoming a man, becoming a full-fledged, member of society. So fucking cool to have to see that is really, really incredible. There's a few shots in here that are just up there with the very best. Bing Liu is definitely a name we're gonna be seeing again, I think. Before we get to the next two guys, Rockford, Illinois. What an American fucking kind of weird, stuck in some different era city. The city's pretty big. It's located obviously in Illinois. It's like in the very, very northern part of Illinois, and it just has its own vibe. I feel like I've never been anywhere like it, but at the same time, I know it. It just makes sense as they're going through, as they're skating through different places in downtown, as Kier goes to his job as a dishwasher, as Zach is fucking working, as a roofer on houses. It just was familiar, but also like a different stratosphere. And I loved that. I thought the setting is just as important when I first watched it as it is now, after watching it like 10 times. Rockford, Illinois is a place I'll never forget. Now it's a place I just want to, if I'm ever driving through there, fuck yeah, I'm going.
You're probably going to get mugged, but you do you.
Yeah, you're probably not going with. Yeah.
I was born and raised in a town very similar to this place. Even as a child, you can kind of tell that you're in a dead end place, that you're in a place where nobody goes to, but everyone ends up. And
okay. I like that.
Not to disparage a shitty Maryland mountain town, but Cascade, Maryland is basically like the smaller version of Rockford. It's just, same dead faces everywhere you go, a general disdain for life, and like for us, I'm sure like with Rockford, like it was like a mill that put everybody out of work or something.
Yeah.
In Cascade, it was an army base that was defunct, and so many people lost their jobs, and it just never healed. And I got out of there when I was like 15, so I didn't spend like my formative years there, realizing like just how even shittier this place was. But that the memories of my childhood in this place just kept coming back to me throughout the watch. And there's something about dead small town America that kind of defines this country. Like the cities that, where the mines dry up, the mills stop hiring, and nobody leaves because they can't. It sucks, but it really does paint a picture that we don't often spotlight, but it's the majority of this country.
Yes.
And I like that this film didn't shy away. It didn't paint, Rockford as this idyllic place that, these friends found each other. It was more just like these friends needed each other.
Yes. To survive through Rockford. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 At one point, Kier is like, I don't want to just be fucking stuck here, and I don't want to just be working some job stuck in this place. And that's kind of what these cities do. Geographically, this is very much the kind of cities that make up the United States. The Chicagos and New Yorks and LAs are very far apart from one another, but the cities that connect those places from point A to point B are places like Rockford. It's the fourth largest city in the state of Illinois, 171st most populated city in the entire country. So it's just kind of perfect for a movie. just kind of makes sense for a movie to be here. There are a few times where I thought, oh man, like some kind of heist movie in this city would be fucking perfect.
I feel like the bank has no guards.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, ever. It'd be the easiest heist. You just get away, and the only people that are trying to stop you are other people living in Rockford. Yeah,
it either has no guards or no money.
Yeah, and that's definitely a running theme, and that's something that's talked about in the movie is how the city of Rockford since 2010 has lost a ton of jobs, and people are just kind of moseying around. And when you're a young person, a young male trying to find out what being quote unquote being a man is all about, and you're stuck in this place that doesn't have anything to offer to you.
Yeah,
it's that's some scary shit. When you're kind of looking down that tunnel of no one really set me up. I don't know how to set myself up, and the place I live doesn't know how to set me up. That's really scary, and ultimately is the reality of most Americans.
There was a line from Kier early on in the movie when he's talking about when he went to live with his dad, and his dad said that, like, told his mom, like, he can get something from me that he can't get from you. Like, there's stuff you can't teach him. And I was raised by a single mother, and I've often thought about that. Like, am I missing something? Like, because I didn't have my father growing up. And I got a little reflective. I won't lie. This movie, it got under my skin a bit. And that was one of the moments where I'm just like, is he right? Or am I right? Like, am I enough? I think I am. I think I have enough.
Oh, man. That's really tough. Jesus, I'm going to start crying already. My only response to that could be, your mom did a great job. I've met her. She's a great fucking person. And she has clearly strived very hard to make sure that your life is good.
Yeah. And I'm grateful for that every day of my life. Because there's so many people who had just such a fucked up situation where they had, just both parents didn't want them and one of them got stuck with them. That happens so much. And it could have been me so easily. And it wasn't. And I'm thankful for that every single day of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause you could you could harp on that. You could be like, no, I didn't have this part of me. I have this part of me. I wasn't taught how to be a quote unquote man. But I've never really heard you ever do that. I've never heard you make an excuse for the way you were brought up. And that's hats off to your mother and to your grandparents who have been, your grandparents are, a wonderful set of people, a wonderful couple, a partnership that is like, that's exactly what I hope I'm like. I hope I'm still that excited to talk to people and to just kind of participate. So it's like if one piece falls, the other pieces have to rise up. And it's like they did. It's like they met the task. They were like, no, this kid needs this. We're going to fucking make sure he gets it. And that is so cool. I think with Kier, he says that. And then Zach at one point says, because he was just with his dad, and he's like, I feel like I missed something from my mom. Maybe it was something my mom could have given me. It's like, oh, fuck. Like, oh, no, none of them have it right. None of them have it the right way. And it's so fucking frustrating. With Kier, he's the guy in this movie. I couldn't understand how someone could watch this and not just be like, that guy is the fucking man. That guy has battled, first off, being black in America. He's battled dealing with a loss of a father who died when he was at a young age, a mother who didn't really know how to, still doesn't, I don't really know what she's doing now. Her name's Roberta. Clearly didn't know how to date, right? Was kind of choosing the wrong men to have around. And then being in Rockford, all these things are just stacked against him, like 100%. There's not really a lifeline for Kier other than fucking skateboarding. And he uses that shit. Like, he abuses skateboarding. I think Zach at times is like, he very much needs the sport, but Kier is like this is why I'm alive. I do this, I do that, I live each day, but the reason I stay alive, it's like in Dead Poet Society when Keating, when Robin Williams is like, yes, we need lawyers, we need doctors, we need all these people to sustain life, but poetry and writing, and romance, this is why we stay alive. Like, this is why we wake up and there's a reason to find that next breath. Kier is like totally using and abusing skateboarding for that reason, to just continue to the next day. And he's like, how the fuck can you not like this guy? He's so awesome. And he's hilarious. And he's out of place completely, hanging out with all these white kids who have no idea what he's going through. No fucking idea. At one point, a guy throws some shit back at him. Yeah, like, it's tough being, they're trash white. And his friend steps up for him. Thank God for that friend. His friend is like, no, dude, like, it's way harder being black in America than being you. Like, don't even fucking compare that shit. And Kier, I follow him on Instagram, and like just the other day, he put up a post about his dad and about one of his friends who passed away. It was this really long post, and he shared a song that he wrote, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful song. And he wrote about his dad and this friend that he had that are both not with us anymore. And I'm just rooting for him still, even, outside of the documentary. I'm just rooting for that guy to just crush life. I want him to just win every day. He goes beyond what movies can do for me. He brought me this real life person that I can totally root for. I love fictional characters. I love fucking John Wick. I love guys like, I want to root for those guys. But when you give me a real life person who's just standing up and doing it every day, just everything stacked against them, those are the people I want to root for. And Kier is at the top of that list. There's so much in this documentary that you could kind of branch out on his stuff, with his brothers. I was like, what the fuck are those guys doing? Like, Jesus, what's going on there? When his mother's doing the interview with Bing and the boyfriend is like, your 5 minutes is up. All these things happening in Kier. I'm like, this guy deserves his own fucking movie. He's it's all over the place. It's incredible. And then you watch him skate, man, and it's like, it's beautiful. It's fucking art. It's gorgeous watching him just ride this fucking piece of wood. Like he has such an interesting style. The way he does tricks is really cool. Is one of my favorite tray flips I've ever seen in my life. I love that guy. And I could talk about him all day. If you had to point something out from his journey, because there's so much, what kind of impacted you? Because clearly with Bing, that moment with his mom is kind of like, whoa. But with Kier, there's like a ton of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments with Kier. I'm gonna hold off because it's my Roger Deakins.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
I'm gonna hold
fantastic.
off on that for now, but it will come up again later.
That's fantastic. I really liked when they show him as a really young kid and he just fucking smashes that kid's board. He's like, "You want to fight me now, bitch?" he's like 12, and the skate park is like, it's like the jungle, you know. And you like, if you're there, you're there, and you got to be with it. You got to know the language. You got to know what's going on.
Well, that right there showed the direction his life could have taken if he hadn't had his friends. They all could have ended up in a much darker place if they didn't have each other.
Yeah.
And that's just, that's great.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then the fact that skateboarding is the connector, because Zach and Kier, I'm not sure they would get along without skateboarding. I'm not quite sure. Zach clearly is someone that Kier looked up to at the skate park, and he says at one point that he got clipped. That there was a guy that was riding like a BMX and had pegs on the wheels, and like hit him in the stomach, hit Kier in the stomach, and Zach came out and was like, "Fuck you, dude! I'll fucking kick your ass," you know, just kind of defending him for like really no reason. Was just like, fuck, you know, fucking bike riders. We're fucking skating. Get the hell out of here. And Kier's like, I want to be like that guy. And it's like, had that not happened at a skate park, like I'm not quite sure that they would have ever kind of aligned in life. And that's pretty fascinating, because you see as the documentary goes along, you see Kier kind of watching Zach like, what's happening to this guy? He's kind of unraveling.
Well, as they grow up, you know, life kind of just grabs him and tells him this is where you're going. And Zach, like, you know, he has a child at a young age. He's not prepared for that. The relationship was already kind of rocky.
Yeah.
And now it's, you know, it's built on intimidation. And that whole line though, like with Nina, I keep thinking like, who is the instigator here? Because they are both clearly toxic and unstable. And I just feel so bad for this fucking kid. It looks like Nina did get her life on like back on track. And again, that again reminded me so much of my own fucking parents. I mean, my dad was never abusive or anything, but he did just fucking take off and leave my mom with, you know, 3-year-old me. And I fucking despise fathers who do that, who just leave their child. And I wanted to like Zach so much. I kept thinking like, he's going to find his way back. He's going to do the right thing. And he never fucking does. And yeah, he's in my fucking shit list. I can't, it's such a despicable, toxic trait in a man to do that. And I'll never, I mean, I love my dad, but I don't know if I'll ever forgive him for that.
No, how can you, you know? Something that, like your life is fucking real. And when something happens that's, you know, traumatic like that, I don't know. I don't know when people are like, you know, you got to forgive and forget. That's just horse shit. That's just horse shit. That shit is going to be a part of you. It can either, you know, tear you down or shape who you are and build you up and make you stronger. And I think with Kier, in some senses, made him stronger, like realizing oh, I miss my dad now that he's gone, that he's passed away. Now I'm thinking about the good things that happened with him. With Zach, we'll move on to Zach now. What a tough journey. And I know some Zachs, you know, I've met a lot of Zachs. And I think there was a time where I thought about being a Zach, you know, I think, I have a two, you know, my daughter's 2.5, and I'd be lying to myself if I didn't think that there was a moment where it was like, I'm not cut out for this. I'm going to have to stop drinking. I'm going to have to stop going out and doing this with my friends. And I'm going to have to change everything, the way I live. And luckily I was raised very well by my parents, and I have a tremendous now fiance. And at the time, Brianna, my girlfriend, who obviously had my child, I had people who believed in me, who like really believed in me. And I'd put you in that list of people who just were like, dude, like, yeah, you're going to be a great dad. And that's so important to hear over and over and over. Like, you're going to be a great dad. Oh man, like you treat Willow so well. It didn't seem like Zach had one fucking ounce of that at all. It was just jokes and more defense mechanism and more drinking and more smoking and more partying and more being stupid. And then that baby comes, and he's just, neither one of them are anywhere near ready. And it is like so aggravating to watch that, because you're like, fuck, y'all don't need to be living together. Y'all should just be separate. Raise this child right. Elliot, the baby, is the one who's going to fucking take on this shit later on. You know, he's going to be the one who deals with this as he gets older. And it is so difficult. This is the most movie thing about this, because it's like, how is this real between Zach and Nina and the baby Elliot? And thank God for that aunt and uncle, Nina's aunt and uncle, who kind of just saved her.
Yeah.
Because without those people, man, without that encouragement, without that reassurance, and you already have your own demons, like, you're just going to fail. You're going to fail. And it's going to be very hard. You can't do it alone. You just can't. You have to have people kind of pushing you and rooting for you. And it seemed like Zach wasn't rooting for himself and didn't have people around him saying, like, you got this, man. He just kept wanting more. He says that towards the beginning, where they show a shot of him shotgunning a PBR. And he says, I always wanted something more out of life, always wanted more of wherever I was. Man, it's fucking wild.
Whew. Well, yeah. First of all, I just want to say the fact that you did stay, the fact that you did like be a father to Willow, it showed me your true character, and it makes me very happy every day to be your friend. It really does.
Thank you.
You're a good man and a good person, and I'm very glad to know you. And yeah, if Zach had that kind of encouragement, that kind of support system, maybe things would have turned out differently. I think you need that. You need people to remind you that you're capable of more than you think you are. If you don't have that, you're going to start to think you're worth less than you are. And that's what happened to Zach. He started thinking, like, this is all I'm capable of. And that fucked up a few lives.
Yeah. Including his own. Yeah. And you know, this documentary, of course, is 3 years old. It is very hard to find information on where he's at now and what's going on with him. Kier, it's pretty easy. He's skating a lot, has a lot of skate content out there. Bing is obviously very busy. It's hard to find information about Zach. It's hard to find out exactly what's going on. And that just makes me worry. Because I still, as much as he's kind of like the villain of this documentary, and especially towards the end when he starts opening up about like how he admits he was being abusive.
Yeah.
That should just tell you, okay, fuck this guy. There's still somewhere in me, because I fucking know people like him I still want to see him succeed. I still want to see him overcome his demons and win. There's a specific scene with Zach. Was almost my Deacons. He brings Elliot, his child, to the skate park, and one of his buddies holds him, and he skates like he's fucking running, like he's like it's. A lot of my favorite skaters like Paul Rodriguez, Sean Malto, those are some of my favorite. Luan Oliveira, some of my like favorite classic skaters, street skaters. They're very smooth and very like it looks like they're not even trying. They're just kind of riding like it's nothing. Zach has this like crazy wild style of skating where it's like he's like attacking the ramp and he's attacking every single trick. And the way he moves, specifically in that scene where he finally like gives the child over to his friend, like, "Hey, hold Elliot. I got to do this." It is breathtaking watching him just shred that park, because you're like, holy shit, this is the only place he feels comfortable. this is the only place where his anxiety goes away. This is it.
I can't imagine being that just squeezed, to have everything in your life be so fucking hectic and impossible, where you need, like, there's only one place you can go to even feel normal. That is a legitimate fear of mine. And I feel bad for anyone who has that much stress in their life.
Yeah.
And I see it with you guys a lot. And I always try my best with this show to try to make this as stress-free as possible. I want this show to be the skate park. I want this to be the place we go to unload this shit.
Exactly.
And I think we've done a decent job of making it a kind of a stress-free, good place.
Yeah. 66 episodes into Oscar Sunday, and obviously over 150 in on Filmgazm, and even more than that with all those random ass bonuses we were doing way back in the day, you and I.
Yeah.
Sneak previews on like 30 something.
36 this week, I think.
Yeah. The Giggle guys are on like 25 almost. I just it is a safe haven. It is a skate park. It is a place that I can go and talk about this shit, talk about movies that just means so much to me, or talk shit about a movie that I just didn't like. Either way, I always feel, when we say bye and we stop recording and everything's done, and I go into the other room and I see Brianna and I see my living room and whatnot, I'm just like, yeah, like I feel right, I feel like that's what I was probably supposed to be doing during that, hour and a half or 2 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is, man. This is very much a skate park. And I know specifically two members of our kind of podcast team, Juwan and Andrew, both even bigger skate fans than I am. I know that they, I'll speak for them because I feel very confident. I know they need places to go and places to talk about things. And I know that skateboarding, specifically us three, can just sit down and watch skate videos all night and we'll all be totally fine. We'll be totally content. We'll be totally okay. We can just be like, holy fuck, look at that awesome trick. Just be those classic dudes just watching skate videos. We can do that all night. And that's a bonding thing for us. And it's cool that it's almost kind of a symbol of what the podcast is, is just, we just want to fucking talk about movies. We just want to talk about movies and see where it takes us. And with Minding the Gap, it's clearly taken us to interesting places. Last person I want to talk about before we kind of take a detour to the 91st Academy Awards is Nina. Nina is actually on the screen about just as much as Kier, Zach, and Bing. She gets a lot of screen time. She is absolutely fascinating. And I just wanted to give her a hug a few times. Her journey is maybe the darkest. She says something that she says something in the doc that just like rattles me, just blows me away, and actually is one of my favorite lines from. It's very close to one of my favorite lines from Boyhood from 2014. So that's Patricia Arquette and Nina, who line up here in the movie world. Nina is talking about how she was someone's daughter, someone's sister, someone's significant other, and then someone's mother, and never had time to figure out herself. Patricia Arquette says almost that exact same thing. She said she does it in a very aggressive way. She's talking to a boyfriend early on in the movie. I was someone's sister. I was someone's daughter. I was someone's girlfriend. And now I'm someone's fucking mother, like, what about me? and women having to bear the child, having to deliver the child is 100% a way different experience than what the male has to go through. I've seen it firsthand. To me, Brianna is a superhero with what she was able to do with carrying Willow for 9 months and then pushing her out of her body. Is just like, it just blew my mind. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. And knowing that, I can't let her down. I didn't fucking do anything. I didn't have this thing in my stomach. I could go hang out with friends. I could go do this. My appetite was fine. She did that, and there's no way in hell I'm gonna let her down after watching that happen. And Nina does this and is let down over and over and over and over, so much so that she has to move in with her aunt and uncle, which is not an easy thing to do as a grown-up, as an adult. You're like, oh, I'm supposed to be with the dad, and we're supposed to live, we're supposed to have a house, and we're supposed to have a yard, and maybe more kids, and maybe we'll get a dog, and you like start going down the line. But for her, it's like, I'm going to court so I can file for fucking child support. What am I doing with my life? And Nina just, I wanted to reach out a few times and be like, you fucking got this, man. Like, fuck him, get out of there. You got this. Like, and she's just got a wild ride. I agree with what you said earlier. I think she contributes obviously to some of the toxic behavior, but as the woman, as the bearer of the child, she's just, it's hard to fault her,
Well, I don't have kids, and I try very hard not to speculate on scenarios that I personally would know nothing about, because I always end up feeling like an asshole. But I do think you're right. And your attitude towards women and childbirth, dude, like Brianna and Willow are so fucking lucky to have you in their corner. They really are. Like, dude, you're like my fucking hero sometimes, man. I'm goddamn.
And there's a lot on my mind, because this fucking state we live in, this fucking silly fucking state of Texas. I'm quite amped up a lot of the time thinking about, do I really want my daughter to fucking grow up in this shit? Do I really want the women around me to potentially be, this is what it is. This is the facts of it. Do I want the women around me to be potentially 6 weeks pregnant and not have the fucking choice to do what they want to do with their body? Fuck that noise. Fuck that. It's bonkers. And when you see it firsthand, you see this is their choice. 100%. There's no fucking question about it. There's no question about it. And watching the movie with it, it's like, God damn it. This place, where am I living? This is like a fucking different world. It sometimes feels like a fucking sci-fi movie.
It's absolutely fucking horrifying that this is even allowed, that you can actually, like, the state can fucking put bounties on women's heads who are trying to get an abortion. What the fuck happened, man? Like, when did this turn into The Handmaid's Tale? Why are we letting this happen?
That's what Brianna is actually. That's funny you say that. Brianna's watching Handmaid's Tale like for the first time, and she's like, "Oh my god, Texas is Handmaid's Tale."
I've heard amazing things about that show. I can't fucking watch it because it's gonna upset me too much. It's too real. At this point, it's too fucking
is.
real. I need some shit to dial back before I watch that.
Yeah, and it's a TV show, so you have episode. I can handle a movie about something really serious, but TV these days is very hard for me to consume that.
Yeah, Jesus. And I love this state. I've made lifelong friends here. This is my family's home, but I am unbelievably disappointed in this state more than I've ever been. And more so that no one seems to be giving a fuck. No one seems to be doing anything to stop it. That's what upsets me more than anything. Like the Supreme Court could give a fuck. They're loaded with a bunch of crazy idiots now. So I don't know what we do. I don't know how this goes away. I don't know. I don't trust our leadership to handle it.
No.
All this is going to do is hurt a lot of people. This is going to cause so many, back alley and at home abortions that are just going to kill so many women. And they don't deserve this. And it's so hard to just not freak the fuck out every day.
Yeah. Cause I'm with you. This is where I'm from. This is my home. This is San Antonio and the area surrounding it, including the city of Austin and everything surrounding that. There's areas that I adore, that I carry in my heart.
Yeah.
And to kind of have to put that to the side and be like, no, this is what's really happening. It fucking sucks. And it's like waking up, you see something every day that's just so upsetting and so aggravating that you have to kind of turn off, and that shouldn't be the case. That should not be the case. And just being alive in civilization just should not be the case. And these are the thoughts that go through my head when I'm watching this movie, when I'm watching Nina go through this crazy ass journey. I'm just like, hats off to her, man, for keeping her fucking head up. That's crazy. She could have given up a long time ago.
Yeah. I just listen. I know this isn't really connected, but it made me think of it. I've talked a bit on Filmgazm. I don't know if it's come up on this show, but I'm a big fan of Dan Cummins' podcast, Time Suck.
Yes. And hell yeah. Fucking Dan Cummins, dude.
Yeah.
What a guy.
We got to see him live in San Antonio a few weeks ago, and it was a fucking blast.
Yeah, he was wonderful and spoke on some things that all Texans should hear. Yeah.
Freedomville. I believe in that 100%. That's what we should do. But I just listened to an episode on Jodi Arias and the murder of Travis Alexander. Remember that whole story?
Yeah.
And learning the facts, I do firmly believe he got himself killed because he knew this was a toxic relationship. He kept going back to the well. He kept bringing her back into his life and fucking with her head. And she had enough. And I'm not excusing the murder, but it reminded me of Nina and Zach's relationship, just this toxic environment that they together create and how they need to stay as far away from each other as possible for either of them to even have a chance at a normal life. And Nina figured that out. And I looked at her and I thought, like, she could have fucking snapped and killed him. And then all of it goes away. You don't have a child anymore. You're in prison. Your life's gone. And it just reminded me so much of that case. Like, it was so close to being that kind of situation. And thankfully it didn't.
Yeah. And think about how many like teeter on that, how many relationships out there. Yeah.
Yeah. The fucking phone call, the recorded, like, I'm going to fucking kill you message. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was like teetering on the edge of sanity. Just like one push in the wrong direction. And you've got 3, potentially so many more permanently fractured lives.
Yeah. Crazy. It really is just crazy.
And this wasn't written. None of this was written. This all fucking happened. This all unfolded over the course of the movie in real time.
At one point when they're trying to be more cordial with one another towards the end of the film, he just like looks at her and is like, yeah, stupid bitch. And then she flicks him off. And I'm just like, what? Like, Jesus Christ, man. That's not funny. Like, that's not just bonkers. Yeah, it the Zach and Nina stuff is its own movie. Kira's stuff is its own movie. Bing Liu's stuff is its own movie. And for however the fuck they did it, they mashed it all into one for it to kind of make sense and for it to flow and for it to be super entertaining. That's the main thing, is that through all of this tragedy, the movie's still like wicked entertaining.
Well, one thing, honestly, this has made me want to do is more fucking docs on this podcast.
Yeah, for sure. And I was going to ask you, I meant to ask you at the top of the show, I meant to kind of ask you, I knew that, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of documentaries, mostly because I'm a huge sports junkie. And with sports and music, I love music to death as well. With those two things, documentaries are the most effective way to quickly learn about something. Mm-hmm. Like OJ Made in America, The Last Dance, all the 30 for 30 stuff on ESPN with like the two Escobars, the Fab Five, Run Ricky Run. All those documentaries are just fucking wonderful. And then with music, there's been ones that have just blown me away. And I learned so much about the artist, whether it be good or bad. I wonder for you, I know you're kind of more kind of starting to dabble more now. How is that going for you? Is it a genre that you're like, okay, this is pretty badass? Or are you kind of like picky and choosy?
I'm 100% give it all to me. I want to learn. That's pretty much where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I'm going to gravitate more towards subjects that interest me, like,
of course,
movies and music history and, political history, things like that. But honestly, I just love learning new shit. And this, like you said, is the fastest way to learn shit. And I recently, I watched Val, I watched Woodstock 99 on your recommendation. And I'm fascinated by how they are able to kind of construct a narrative while at the same time giving you the facts. And that's fantastic. I am definitely going to be seeking out more documentaries and really just kind of refining a whole new palette I'm excited to explore.
So cool. I remember when we did If Beale Street Could Talk, I was like, hey man, try to watch I'm Not Your Negro. Like just try. Because learning about James Baldwin, one of the most important voices and writers in American history, learning about him is like, why not? Fucking why not? Just listening to him talk and watching him smoke a cigarette is like, oh man, this guy's got a lot of stuff to say. And it's pretty much all spot on. And I wish that documentary was a little more well known. But that's just kind of you're a horror fan, you understand. Sometimes the genre just doesn't always fascinate people. And I think documentaries, it has to be a special thing. Like The Last Dance, when it came out like a little over a year ago, and it's about Michael Jordan. So people are just kind of like, feed me, fucking feed me. And I enjoyed the hell out of that shit, but I'll always kind of choose the thing that's a bit more obscure and a bit more underground. Yeah. And Mind in the Gap kind of does all that.
Well, so using Letterboxd, I was able to chart, and I've seen 19 documentaries.
Okay.
It's low. I know. But
but listen, you've seen like 3,000 movies, so it's okay. It's okay.
True. I'm new to this. I'm figuring it out. But I've seen,
like for me, I haven't seen nearly as many horror movies as you. So like, that's just the state of, that's just what's real.
And I'm nowhere fucking near Caleb and Josh in horror movie numbers. Like, we're all looking up to somebody,
Yes.
Except Josh. He's pretty much at the fucking top of this.
Well, Josh with like dramedies. I don't know.
The thing is, though, you gotta want it, and I don't think he does.
No, yeah, you gotta want it.
But yeah, through docs, like I learned all about. I watched Milius. Tells the story of little-known screenwriter John Milius, who never really got popular, but he fucking wrote Apocalypse Now and the USS Indianapolis speech from Jaws, among other things. Like, this dude was a fucking storyteller, and then he had a stroke and couldn't write anymore. But the doc kind of chronicles his way back, his recovery, and also like his impact on the industry. And it was fascinating. I had never heard the name John Milius. And here I am learning all about this guy who was like had his fingers in so many films that I adore. And that's amazing. Learning that shit is so fun. It's so fascinating because then you've got like anecdotes and you can bring that shit up. Like when we do the Inevitable Apocalypse Now episode, I'm sure eventually I'll be able to talk about, this is Milius and this is what I learned. And it's nice to have that knowledge, like, Schoolhouse Rock said, knowledge is power.
Yes. I 100%. I think being able to piece those things together is uber important when you're a big fan of storytelling and movies and books and all those things above. I love them. I love documentaries so much. I'm not quite sure. I've seen a lot, and I will mostly give that up to sports. I've just seen so many basketball documentaries that I've just, as a kid, I was just intrigued by, and I still watch them today. Like I watched not too long ago, Lenny Cook, a documentary directed by the Safdie brothers. And it's the Safdie brothers are like fucking awesome, right? And Uncut Gems and Good Time. And who knows what's going to come next for them. But they did this documentary on Lenny Cook, this guy who was like supposed to be the next, or like was supposed to basically be as good as LeBron James, and it just didn't pan out. And by the time he was in his mid-20s, he was like overweight and just kind of hanging out at home doing a normal job. And it's just like, what the fuck, And these things like are just, you just never know what's going to like kind of floor you. And with Mind in the Gap, I think it is that. I've recommended this movie more than any movie I've seen, because a lot of my favorite movies are niche, are for a specific fan group. Mind in the Gap, I just don't see. I don't see how you're a human being with a pulse, how you couldn't watch it and be like, oh man, this is fucking gnarly, And again, it's only an hour and a half. A lot of movies I like are longer and can kind of push that 2.5 hour runtime. This does not do that. It's just accessible. It's amazing. It's raw. It does exactly what documentaries are supposed to do: teach, entertain, enlighten, and relate to you. It does all those things. And I love it so much. I can't believe it lost. It lost to Free Solo at the 91st Academy Awards. That just doesn't sit very well with me. I remember watching the Oscars that night and just being disappointed a few times. Of course, the Best Picture winner was Green Book. Not a huge fan of that movie. Best Actor went to Rami Malek, which is the worst performance of those five.
Mm-hmm.
What else happened that I didn't really like? Green Book won Best Screenplay. Not for me. But was it
the Globes or the Oscars where Peter Farrelly was like, what? Racism is bad and we got to stop
Globes. It. Yeah, that was at the Globes, and then the Oscars, they're like, we can't let him do that. Yeah.
Not again. My God. I get your heart's in the right place, but shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, because there's a time and place for things, and there's voices that should say things and shouldn't say things. And the guy who directed Dumb and Dumber, Me, Myself, and Irene, and There's Something About Mary, and Shallow Hal probably shouldn't be the guy who's saying like, big stuff about racism.
Prior to that, what was his like one, like there was one interaction in Dumb and Dumber where like Lloyd walks up to a black dude's like, whoa, big gulps, huh?
Yep.
Well, see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's your experience.
That's
Peter.
it. That's about it. Yeah. That movie is, I think Green Book is, in my mind, I think it has kind of the Argo effect, where when a movie wins Best Picture, you have it on this pedestal, and it's like, oh, it has to meet these expectations, and when it doesn't, it's disappointing. And I think Green Book is just not quite there on a level of I mean, the year after, fucking Parasite wins. Like, Parasite is just a through and through awesome movie. It's very rare to find somebody who just straight up doesn't like it. Whereas Green Book is very divided. It's very divisive. There are people who can't stand it, and there's people who are like, "Oh, it's fine." I'm somewhere in between.
I I'm always so fucking divisive whenever we bring up Green Book, because you're making very, very good points that I 100% agree with. But I also really liked that movie.
That's fair.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was cute. I love the chemistry. I enjoyed it. But yeah, it's detrimental. I understand that.
And if it wasn't a Best Picture winner or original screenplay winner, then maybe it'd be like, oh, it's fine, whatever. But the fact that it beat Black Panther, it beat Black Klansman, it beat The Favorite, it beat Roma, it beat Vice. Come on, it doesn't make one bit of sense. Fucking Minding the Gap is better. Come on. But there's some great things that happen here. Alfonso Cuarón wins Best Director for Roma. Olivia Colman wins Best Actress and gives one of the coolest speeches of all time. Yeah. Regina King wins Best Supporting Actress. Also a really cool speech. Just a awesome performance as Sharon Rivers. Black Klansman wins Best Adapted Screenplay. Roma wins Best Foreign Language Film. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, probably the best Spider-Man movie ever, wins Best Animated Feature. We'll see. The new one that's coming out.
I don't know about that.
The new one coming out might rival that. I really do think if you were to take away the preview that we've seen, the trailer, I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is the most complete Spider-Man movie we've ever seen.
No Way Home has not only the potential to be the greatest Spider-Man movie ever, but maybe the greatest fucking superhero movie ever.
Well,
potential here is unparalleled.
I agree. I think that movie is gonna do what superhero movies are ultimately striving for, which is to not just be called a superhero movie. It's to just be a good fucking movie. I think that movie is gonna. I'm with you. I'm in the boat where I think it's gonna be an event. I think people are gonna get their ass in seats for it. I really hope so. Get that fucking vaccination and go see Spider-Man. You know. It looks so fucking cool. But that I'll never forget seeing that one in theaters, the 2018 one. It was just such a blast. I felt like a little kid, while at the same time having all the knowledge I have in my mind. So it was just kind of wrapping everything into one. Great movie.
Oh yeah. Well, Spider-Verse was so cool because I first off, I'd never seen that animation style before.
Yeah.
Which was neat. It told a story of a Marvel character who really deserves a bigger spotlight in Miles Morales. You know, it was so cool to see a multiverse Spider-Man movie that wasn't just aimed at kids, but like everyone. Like it was a Spider-Man fan movie. And like I know my cousin Miles is a young black teenager who fucking loved that movie because he got to see somebody like him as Spider-Man.
Exactly.
And also his name was Miles, and he rode that high for quite a while.
I would ride that high my entire life.
Yeah. My cousin Miles is a black Hispanic teenager, just like Miles Morales. So he was like, that's my guy. And I thought it was just a badass movie. I'm so glad it won Best Picture over Incredibles 2, which I didn't like. Yeah, well done. That's a fun movie.
Yeah. I actually think Incredibles 2 gets like fourth place here. I think I Love Dogs is fantastic. And Ralph Breaks the Internet, for what it's worth, pretty good movie. Pretty good movie. I think Incredibles 2 is extremely underwhelming. And then Mirai, a Japanese movie that I have yet to see. I'm sure I've heard amazing things about that movie. This is a really interesting group, the Best Animated Feature category from this year. But Spider-Man, like I think in any year, I'm not quite sure what animated movie would beat it. Maybe like Toy Story. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't seen the other three. I've only seen Spider-Man and Incredibles 2. But I'm overdue for a Wes Anderson marathon.
Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about him at some point on here in October. And Isle of Dogs is a movie that I think will be one of your favorites of Wes Anderson's movies. It's got your boy Bryan Cranston,
Dude,
your guy Bill Murray, your guy Edward Norton. They're all dogs. It's great.
Wes Anderson, I think what impresses me about him the most is the unbelievable fucking ensembles he can make. I mean, Jesus.
It's yeah, I've read a lot about this. I've read a lot about speaking on Texas again, as much as I get really frustrated with this state. Like Wes Anderson is one of the bright spots to me. The fact that he was born here and lived some of his life here is very important to me. And I think his kind of distinct vision and style, people just want to do it over and over. They just want to do it again and again and again. Bill Murray, Owen Wilson, Jason Schwartzman, Francis McDormand, Edward Norton, Bruce Willis.
That's the weirdest one.
Yeah, adding Timothy Chalamet to the list. Jeff Goldblum, F. Murray Abraham, Adrian Brody. These people who are just fucking lights out all the time. He gets them to come back over and over and over, and that is a trait that not a lot of people have. Only the auteurs and only the kind of distinct voices and visionaries have that. When you're Quentin Tarantino, it's like, yeah, of course Brad Pitt's gonna come back because I make awesome movies and I give him an opportunity to do something really special. And Wes Anderson does that like over and over. Angelica Houston, how could I forget? Kate Blanchett, all fucking Danny Glover. All these people who have worked with him are just like, they're lights out.
It's so cool. And it really comes down to just, he doesn't write any small parts. Every character, no matter how much screen time, has something to say. It's a meaty character that any actor worth their salt would love to play.
Yeah.
And to have that talent as a writer is rare. And
I'm jealous. Yeah.
Oh, me too, man.
Wes, and I can't wait for you to kind of take that deep dive into his work. You're going to watch, have you seen Royal Tenenbaums?
I have only seen Grand Budapest and The Life Aquatic.
Oh boy. Yeah. When you watch Royal Tenenbaums, you're going to be like, holy shit, Gene Hackman is saying this stuff. Gene Hackman is looking at Owen Wilson right in the face and talking about drugs. Like fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I love that guy to death. That's the only movie that I think rivals Spider-Man, but still, Spider-Man. I love that we're talking about that movie a lot. I can't wait to one day do that movie on here. Shit, maybe we'll have to do it on here around the time that the new Spider-Man comes out. I don't know. Well, maybe we can make something happen.
There is enough Spider-Man to cover all of our podcasts.
Exactly. I think the 2002, probably my second favorite Spider-Man ever. The original, Tobey Maguire, of course, the best villain they've ever done. Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin was nominated for an Oscar as well, so we could do that too. I don't know, man. Yeah, fuck. I love Spider-Man. It's my favorite on paper superhero, hands down.
It was when I was a kid, but Batman has replaced him, and though some people have a problem with that, if you're listening to this, you know who you are. I was raised with Marvel and DC in my, toy chest. It's hard for me to pick favorites. I love both those worlds. I want to see them both succeed. And yeah, I'm happy anytime I get anything.
Yeah, I understand that. I think it was the toys. I'm still a child. It was the toys I had of Spider-Man. I had a toy from the first movie when he goes to when he first is dressed up as what's he called? The Human Spider. What kind of name is that?
You had the wrestling outfit?
I had an action figure where he had the wrestling outfit on, and I was obsessed. I was obsessed with that. And I'll never forget that. I got it for Christmas when I was like 7 or 8, around when that movie came out, and I'll never forget it. It's still so special to me. That scene, when now the guy's gonna get away with my money. I love that bit.
I saw
all that stuff from that scene.
I saw a meme earlier today where the guy's running through the hallway with the gate with the money, but instead of Peter Parker, it's Bonesaw who's there. And he just grabs the guy and it says, "You're going nowhere."
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime.
Hey, freak show. Fucking Randy Savage.
I forgot the part where that's my problem. Yeah, God, what a movie. I love that first Spider-Man. That's great. Let's see. Is there anything from this show? Well, fucking hell, man. The best actor category. Can you believe Rami Malek beat Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Willem Dafoe, and Viggo Mortensen? Come on.
No, I fucking can't. And I have seen all 5 of these performances.
Yeah, me too.
This was Christian Bale's Oscar, and Rami Malek fucking stole it. I will stand by that till the day I die. Vice deserved a Best Actor win.
I'm like 100% with you. I think here it's Bale, and then Cooper is like somewhere a little below for second, and then I think Dafoe and Mortensen are kind of competing for third, and Rami Malek is at the very back. He's at the back, like he's not even close to these guys. The guy didn't even sing. Bradley Cooper actually sang. Come on.
Yeah, not just sang, but fucking directed, fell in love.
Yeah.
I mean, they can, pretend all they want. There was a fucking attraction there. You could see it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's no way the movie can be that good without it,
You're telling me Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga are going to do a love story and then immediately after break up with their significant others?
Come on.
Both of them.
Christian Bale, I'm with you. He became Dick Cheney.
Yeah, I don't even see him in that movie. It's just it's Dick Cheney.
It's really wild. I love that he has the win for The Fighter, but that's a supporting role. I want him to win a lead actor Oscar one day. He's been nominated 4 times altogether, and has that one win for supporting. I really want him to get a lead win one day. He's, to me, one of the most talented guys we have on the planet right now, and I hate when guys go like that. Go and we just kind of like forget, and they pass by, and we just kind of we fucked it up.
I have a feeling that's going to happen. I think Bradley Cooper is going to have the Peter O'Toole route, where he's consistently nominated but never actually gets one.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper definitely has Peter O'Toole in him. That's a really good call. I mean, Bradley Cooper, when you add up everything, because he was a producer for American Sniper, directed Stars Born, was a producer for Stars Born, was also a producer for Joker in 2019. He's got a lot of nominations. He has 8 total nominations. B Coop has made the right. Yeah, B Coop. He's made the right moves. Very similar to someone like Warren Beatty, where it's just like, all right, I'm gonna start kind of fucking dabbling in everything. Very similar to what Brad Pitt's done. I'm just gonna kind of do everything. And I think it's kind of panned out for him. I would just love to see him get a win one day.
Same. I do want to point out, Vice might be my favorite trailer of all time. I've gone back and watched it recently just because I'm like,
so cool.
The tone of that trailer is so perfect. It's fucking the Killer's song, "The Man," is perfectly chosen. It's the cadence of his voice. It's like, this is not like what happened to Christian Bale. Like there's two dicks.
Yeah. It's so cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's the biggest snipe out of this. Biggest snub is Rami Malek beating Christian Bale. I think for me, I wish Roma would have won Best Picture, but I could also go for Vice. I could go for Stars Born. I could go for The Favorite. I could go for Black Panther. Just not Green Book or Bohemian Rhapsody.
I love that Alfonso went up there 3 times, though.
Yeah. God, what a badass. Alfonso Cuarón. Just the fucking man. He's the fucking man. Roma is so good. That movie. The movie's awesome.
I love when a guy goes to the Oscars and then has to like bring home his Oscars in a bag. Like when you have to ask for a bag, you're a fucking superstar. I'm looking at you, Bong.
Yeah. Bong definitely was like, I need a bag because I'm trying to get drunk right now, and I can't leave these. I have too many of them to just carry around while I'm drinking, and going to these after parties. Like that's not going to work.
Surprised like one of his Oscars wasn't just like a giant ass flask. The head screws off and he just.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I love it, man. I love looking at these ceremonies, especially the ones that are recent, because we've kind of seen everything.
Mhm.
It's easy to have an opinion on stuff when you've seen everything. Last week we did 1946, so it's like we've seen these Best Picture nominees, but we don't know the whole ceremony. With this, we know pretty much the whole ceremony.
Yeah,
So it's very cool. Very cool.
Pretty much everything here, except for like the short film categories and the docs, but everything else I've seen for the most part.
Man. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything here. Yeah.
This is a really good foreign language film year. Roma gets the win. Shoplifters is fucking incredible. Cold War is fucking incredible. Those are very worth your time kind of movies.
Yeah.
And then that animated category is solid, with a Wes Anderson movie, a revolutionary Spider-Man superhero movie. It's cool. It's cool to see.
One thing I do want to talk about at this Oscars, Free Solo.
Yes, let's definitely, before we get to our awards, let's talk a bit about that best doc, because I know you watched Mind the Gap and Free Solo.
I watched about half of Free Solo before I'm like, this is ridiculous. Mind in the Gap is a beautifully woven tale of real identity in a small town in Illinois. Free Solo is an adrenaline junkie's ego trip to climb a giant mountain.
Essentially.
And I just don't give a shit. Anybody who's going to do that without any protection, any harness, anything is asking for trouble, and we shouldn't feel bad when they die. That is my opinion.
I can't really argue with that. It is an adrenaline thing. It is like I have to do this. This is like what makes me feel alive. Well, I think I'd rather watch guys skateboard to stay alive.
Develop a coke habit like the rest of us.
Yeah. Yeah, this category is Free Solo, the winner. Hale County this evening. Mind the Gap, Of Fathers and Sons, and RBG. I've seen all of these except for Of Fathers and Sons. I've heard that one's really good. RBG is great. I saw that at the Bijou here in San Antonio. Awesome stuff. Hale County this evening. Fantastic one. That's essentially about these people in Hale County, Alabama, about Black people living in Hale County, Alabama. And it's kind of one of those wake up calls. Like, oh, fuck, I have no idea. Especially as a white person, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know what these people go through. And when you watch a documentary that's this insightful, it can sort of help. You'll never be able to get into the shoes of somebody who's going through racism every day. But to get a glimpse is better than nothing.
Yeah, I mean, we can never fully understand that struggle, but at the very least, we can attempt to.
Try your hardest to have some kind of context and some kind of understanding, because it's very real. It's very, very real. Do what Janis Joplin did and try just a little bit harder. Yes, exactly. But to me, I may be biased. I just think Mind the Gap crushes all of these. I think it shatters all this stuff. I think Mind the Gap is one of the most impressive movies from this ceremony, and just straight up one of my favorite movies from the past decade, up to 2010s. It's so good. I love that we're here talking about it and what it's kind of opened up, the conversations that it opens up. And that's just not on this episode. Anytime I've talked about it with my two older brothers and my younger brother, they've all seen it. And the conversations we had that have stemmed from it are just incredible. And then with some of my friends that have been like, okay, I'll watch it. It's on Hulu. They're like, holy shit, Austin, this is fucking awesome. And I'm like, I know, dude, like, it's fucking cool. Like it gets you kind of amped to talk about something. And that's the very best thing about entertainment. You're damn right. I've known for a while that this one was coming. I just didn't know when, because I've known how personal and beloved this film is by you. So I'm glad that you were able to have this one. I knew you were looking forward to this big time, and I'm glad I could be a part of it. Yeah, for sure. Oscar Sunday is pretty much the only place it can go. It's definitely not a comedy. It's definitely not a filmgasm, wacky genre type, let's just fuck around movie. And it's not a sneak preview because it's from 3 years ago. So this is where it lives. And I'm happy that it's here. That's finally here after 66 episodes. I could have done this for like episode 2. I waited and I don't want to. I've done a lot of my personal favorite movies on here, like Chinatown and Moonlight. That's just to name a couple. But this goes past that. It goes past that, if you can believe that.
Yeah, I got to do one of my Mount Rushmore films early on.
Yeah,
it's only fair you get to do one of yours.
That was a absolute blast. I would even redo Back to the Future just because it was so much fun. With our new format and everything and how we're kind of doing things, I think I would enjoy it even more. It's that kind of a movie that each time you watch it, you're just like, oh, this is just a classic.
Well, part 2 was up for visual effects.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely do part 2 because now that it's here on Oscar Sunday. Yeah. Sorry, Filmgazm, you can't have Back to the Future.
You're gonna have to take part 3 though, because there were no nominations.
Yeah, part 3 will have to just appear on anything. Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, let's go back to Minding the Gap then. Let's do some awards for this movie so we can get out of here. This is interesting because typically, we have a movie that's written it's specifically written for the screen. Today we have a documentary. We are not going to change our awards. It's still going to be the Quentin Tarantino for best quote of the movie. It's going to be the Ennio Morricone Award for best music moment of the movie. It's going to be the Philip Seymour Hoffman Award for best performance. In this case, it's more who is your favorite person to kind of learn from and watch. And the Roger Deakins best scene of the movie. So I'll let you start with your Tarantino.
This is a little towards the beginning, closer to the middle, and it's from Zach.
Okay.
He's talking about skating, but he's also not talking about skating. And he says,
perfect.
You fucking have to control the most minute, small details to make you feel normal in a world that's not normal. And yeah, he's talking about how, controlling yourself in skating, but I also felt like he was talking about life itself and how you are constantly having to tweak your behavior to adjust little things so that you reflect what society expects of you. It's something we all have to do. And there's some of us just can handle it better than other people. And I feel like Zach is one of those people who cannot fucking handle that. And he was kind of I felt he was talking about that, talking about the image he has to put into society and how much he fucking hates it.
Yeah. Oof. I also chose a Zach quote. I think Zach says some stuff here that just captures like what's wrong with society and what's like pinpoints the fuck are we doing? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, and that one, I almost chose that one. That one blows me away. I also love the subtle things that he does. Like when he goes to take the GED test and he just comes out like, I didn't know what they wanted. I didn't know what they wanted from me. I'm frustrated. It's like, oh, Jesus, dude. I took the GED test. I dropped out when I was a sophomore in high school and very frowned upon by a lot of people that I like around me. And still today I get looks like, what? You got your GED? You couldn't even finish high school? Like, well, I didn't want to fucking be there. I didn't want to fucking deal with that anymore. I didn't want to be in a classroom anymore. I didn't know what I wanted, but it wasn't that. And I relate to him in that sense. And that's kind of why I chose a quote from him. I think he has the most profound stuff to say, even though he's probably the most fucked up.
That might be why he has the most profound shit to say.
Probably, right? It's like when you just get drilled over and over and over. You're eventually going to be like, oh, I get it. I'm not going to actually do anything because fuck you. And that's kind of Zach's attitude.
Yeah.
I chose at the very beginning of the film. It's it's pretty much the first monologue we get from Zach. when he's skating on a rooftop and he's like fucking just messing around, just being a goofball. And his voice is in the background, and he says, "Your whole life, society tells you, be a man. You're strong and you're tough, and margaritas are gay." You know what I mean? You don't grow up thinking that's the way that you are, though. When you're a kid, you just do. You just act, and then somewhere along the line, everyone loses that shit. Fuck.
That was profound. I remember that.
Ugh. And that's a tone setter for the movie. Where you're about to watch some shit. You're about to watch some hell be unleashed, and he's like, nah. Like he's just kind of nah. He just kind of keeps nah. Like, yeah. What is this? What are you doing? What is this? What is this? And that's why he drinks. That's why he is just escaping. Always escaping. Always trying to escape. Yeah. He moves to Denver, Colorado, and works at a sandwich shop just to escape his own mess. Oh, Jesus. It's so sad.
Yeah, it's, again, I know I hate coming back to this, but it's just so hard to avoid it. That's my fucking dad. He never grew up. He felt, he saw me and my mom and thought, I can't do this. I don't have it in me to grow up right now. And he never looked back. My dad's been just playing around, he's almost 50, and he's just fucking around with no, like, there's so much he doesn't have. I don't want to get into personals here, but it's for me, it's given me kind of a model of like what not to do almost. And I have such a low bar for success. It's fucking crazy, man. I have the fact that I even like, everything I've done up to this point in my life, everything that's led here is not all of it was carefully thought out, but I gave, a second or third, thought to it and thought, is this going to be important to me in 5 years, 10 years? Like, is this going to matter? And my dad never did that. My dad never thought anything through. And, it's just, it's one of those things constantly kind of looming over my shoulder.
Yeah.
It's just the way it's just how I got to, it's the life I was dealt. It's the hand I was dealt. Yeah. But it is interesting that, I saw so much of that in Zach, and it made me think like, this fucking happens a lot. I'm not alone here. Yeah. This happens so much. It's bonkers. And Zach did bring up the interesting idea that like, as a kid, you don't really understand what growing up means. Like you think, I get to have my own house. I get to have a job. Yay. I get to make decisions. But then there's a certain point in your life where you grew up and you don't really know when it was, but it happens to all of us. And then one second we're a kid, something happens. Now we're an adult. Now we got to deal with shit. And it's interesting. It kind of made me try to think back into my life. Like, when was it? When was the moment where I'm like, childhood's gone. Now I have to start taking things a little seriously. And that was fucking profound.
Extremely. Zach, again, for all like kind of the tomfoolery that he's fucking just, that he's just handing out, he says some stuff that is like, woof. It just breaks through society. It just breaks through like what we believe to be normal. Yeah. And it's kind of, it's like, when you see something so like haunting, it's beautiful. Like that's Zach. That's Zach.
It's like Joe Rogan's stoner logic, but it makes sense.
Yeah, very much. And that's a lot of this movie. A lot of this movie is like, yeah, bro, like, whoa. But it's like, holy fuck, when you really break it down, this is this person's life.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's
absolute trip.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was fully expecting to coast through this one with the show. I'm like, skateboarding documentary. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to figure out some shit to say, and we're going to do this episode. But then, I got drawn into it and I started seeing my own family and my own history. and my own decisions in life. And I'm like, fuck, this is real. This is going to be a significant episode.
Yeah. I'd say it's one of our most significant yet, man. Yeah. And you know what? You know what's so, at this point to me, the piece that puts this movie together is the music. The score is pretty subtle. There's a little bit of a soundtrack. We get Video Life as kind of the intro song. That's really cool touch. But the score is like almost unsettling because it's so slow. And it's so thought-provoking, when they're skating through and it's just a piano, just kind of tugging away at your heart. I had a real hard time with my Ennio Morricone. Had a really, really hard time. What do you got?
I'm right with you. I changed mine about 3 times.
Yeah, me too.
And I had to go with a moment. And this is something I've never seen in a documentary before, but I've seen 19 of them. So the fuck do I know? But still, the score was utilized in a way to juxtapose 2 different scenes together. And I don't see that in documentaries. And it's when Keir is in the graveyard looking for his father's tombstone, and Zach is at the lake responding to whether or not he was abusive towards Nina. And the music reinforces both of these very different situations that are happening at the same time on screen, but it works so well for both of them. And I was floored.
God. Fuck, man. Yeah, that one's called Lessons and Losses.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. That shit is mind-blowing when you're watching Keir just crying as he can't find the grave. He can't find it. And Zach is kind of unraveling, admitting.
Yeah.
Sometimes he says at one point, sometimes you got to just hit a bitch. And you're like, what? Holy fuck, he just said it out loud. This whole thing, throughout this whole documentary, we've been wondering, did he hit her? Did he abuse her? Was there a reason for Nina screaming back at him? Sure enough, there was. He fucking admitted it. He fucking admitted the same thing to the same thing that fathers and males do over and over and over and over and over. And what his own dad did in his own life. He's just becoming a fucking statistic. He's admitting it right there at 2 beings' face on camera while drinking. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? And Keir is like this innocent soul looking for his dad who's dead underground. It's like, God, I chose the same thing, man. I chose the exact same thing. That has to be the Ennio. I think the theme music is gorgeous, is stunning. And it just pulls you in, right? You're like, oh fuck, this is a movie. Here we go. But that specific piece, the Lessons and Losses, and this is a incredible score by Nathan Halpern and Chris Ruggiero. Hats off to those guys. That they're like sometimes a movie has a missing character, and right here there is no missing character because like they fill it in perfectly. And I think that scene, like you're saying, where it's just 2 polar opposite things happening at once, but somehow it fucking meshes. That's the power of music. That's the power of emotion. And I had to choose the same thing.
Yeah, it's powerful, especially since, Zach's admitting this to Bing, who was fucking abused and hates that. Like, the whole movie has been trying to find out, like, is one of my best friends one of these people? Is he a monster? And I mean, I can't imagine, finding out that about a good friend. Like, I don't know how I would handle that. It'd be, do you throw away decades of love and respect? Or like, do you stick by your beliefs? Like, what do you do? I hope I never have to make that decision. But Zach being completely doesn't even seem to register the fact that like you're admitting being an abusive asshole to somebody who was beaten by their stepdad. Just, God, you want to shake him. You want to be like, you really do. Wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Without really going into it being, I don't want to say any names or anything, but I've definitely definitely gone through that, where I've learned stuff about friends or people I know that's makes me question whether or not I should even talk to them along those exact lines of abuse. It's scary how, as you get older, it's scary how much more normal it is than you realize. So fucked up. And the fact that this documentary just confronts that head on. Like, Bing Liu is like, I'm on a mission to make a really cool skate documentary, but I'm also on a mission to find out, why is this happening over and over and over? Like it's a fucking pattern that we're just okay with. And that shit'll make you stay up at night for sure. Where you just wonder, what am I supposed to do in this situation? Do I help this person or do I cut him off? You know? And Bing Liu films that. He takes our favorite thing, which is film, which is cinema, which is movie, entertainment, and he puts the hardest thing that you can kind of think about, and he fucking, Mind in the Gap's one of the scariest horror movies I've ever seen. I love genre films, but there's nothing scarier than real life, than looking down the tunnel and seeing, oh fuck, this is really happening.
Yeah.
That realization.
I'll take Freddy Krueger or the fucking Babadook over like a complete violation of trust of somebody I've known for decades.
Exactly.
I couldn't handle that. That it would shake my worldview. It would make me realize like I don't know fucking anybody.
Yeah, it definitely makes you question who's around you and what do I really know?
Yeah.
And Kier says that, which, fuck it, let's go to the PSH. Mine's Kier. Hands down. He says at one point later in the film, he's like, Zach's supposed to be my homie, and I don't even know who he is. I don't even know who he is because he does this. He says this. He says he's all about like standing up for what's right and da 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 da. But then he goes and does this. So it's like, what the fuck? And Kier Johnson, he just rattles me, just rattles my core. I've never been more impressed by a fucking person. Like, I spoke about it earlier, just the odds stacked against him as great as they possibly can be. And yet here he is, washing dishes, becoming a waiter, moving to Denver, becoming a professional skateboarder. Fuck yeah, man. He's a role model. That guy's a role model.
Yeah. Straight up, man. His journey was fascinating. My PSH went to Elliot, the baby. That is a talented little infant. I'm fucking with you. It's mine is also truly. Kier. Mine's also Kier.
Yeah. I kind of knew. I was like, Connor's gonna love Kier Johnson. He's gonna love that guy. Like, how can you not? When just the way he laughs, his laugh is like, oh yes, like he makes me excited. He makes me excited for life. There's just watching him skate is joy. Is just joy.
There's an optimism in the way he presents himself, the way he talks with his friends, the way he laughs. But underneath that, you can feel so much pain, so much anger, so much resentment. And I kept waiting for it to bubble over, but it really doesn't. He keeps himself in check. He keeps himself in control because he knows that nothing good will come of that. And I mean, that, like you said, he's a fucking role model. That's something to admire. Somebody who kind of channel that pain to make his life better.
Yeah. Yeah. And he says stuff over and over that I'm like, fuck, man. He at one point is hanging out with some buddies and he's like, oh, I just remembered something cool that my dad said. Being black, you get to prove people wrong every day.
I love that line.
Man, that shit is outstanding. He could think however he wants to think, be as angry as he wants to be, but yet he chooses to be positive with this and say, I can prove people wrong over and over.
That one scene where he's at a barbecue and the white lady starts playing like some super racist shit from her phone, and he like her white friends are laughing, and Kier's just over there, kind of like, hurt, clearly hurt, but not saying anything. And my heart went out to him, man. Like he said something about like they like don't let them don't let them make you forget you're black or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to come into play in this film, but it made sense, and it was a part of the story that you couldn't just ignore.
No,
I appreciated Bing actually going there.
Yeah. Bing has that one scene where he kind of points it out. It's like really on the nose, but he's like, look, man, I kind of saw myself in you, because he's quite a bit older than Kier. Bing is like 5 years older. He's like, look, I saw myself in you. And that's why I wanted to know about you and your past and your childhood and what you've gone through, because I've gone through something similar with abuse and neglect and just kind of feeling out of place. Like, I get it. And Kier looks at him and he's like, whoa, man, that's really cool, Bing. Like, that's really cool. Like, the fact that you see that and me and like we can have that, that's a cool bond, And Kier Johnson was at the fucking 91st Academy Awards. He was there. He
really?
He was at that ceremony. Like that.
Was he Bing's plus one?
Yeah. It was just them. It was just them too, and that gives me chills. That gives me straight up chills, knowing that like that dude, this fucking skater from Rockford, Illinois, that just society wants to spit on and not even deal with. He was at the fucking Oscars. This uppity, like, look at us. He was there. Fuck you. Really cool.
Did he get one of those like $300,000 gift bags?
Oh, I don't know about that. I doubt it. I doubt it. So cool. Yeah, to me, Kier is, I think Bing Liu obviously is like doing the most. I mean, he's the director. He's filming everything. He's the visionary, and he's also in it and has some really cool stuff. But between, all these people who get a lot of screen time, I think Kier is just the fucking man. He's the man. And anytime I watch this, I'm just inspired. I'm inspired by his words and the way he operates, and the relatability of him, being scared to move out, being scared to not be able to make rent, being scared of letting people down. Those are human things. Those are things that are very real and very honest. As a young male, you're like, oh, like, fuck, I'm supposed to be this. I'm supposed to be this masculine, like, oh, here we go. And he's not that. He's not that. He's like a very interesting, delicate soul that can skate very well.
Well, I hope that like our generation is went a long way towards kind of crushing those views of traditional masculinity, traditional femininity. We very much embraced individual identity. And
yeah,
I fucking love that. Like the fact that I can, openly admit like, yeah, fucking, I don't know, Toy Story 3 made me cry. I shouldn't be ashamed to say that. And I don't feel ashamed to say that. And I'm glad I have that. This was like 1958. If I said that, I'd be fucking jumped tomorrow. You'd never see me again.
Yeah. There's a scene where Zach's talking and he's like, oh, just keep working and the emotions will go away.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I'm going to put this over here and then one day I'll die.
Yeah. Zach does that voice a lot and it's really funny. It's like, he's like, her. It's like, what is that? Oh, man. So good. Yeah. Kier, man. Kier is Oscar Sunday legend at this point. You're Deacons. This is the hardest thing for me to choose that we've ever done. It's the whole movie.
Yeah. I had a feeling this was going to be a toughie for you. For me, I knew it the second it happened. And it is when Kier finds his father's tombstone. Because he immediately regresses all of his, optimism, all of his bravado, all of it disappears, and he is a scared little boy who lost his father. And I know he's not an actor. I know it wasn't fake, but holy Christ, what a powerful moment.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, I started thinking about, if my dad died tomorrow, what's the last thing I said to him? I don't remember. It made me want to give him a call and be like, hey, what's happening? Just to make sure, always tell your loved ones how much you care about them, because you never know if the last thing you said to them could have been some negative shit that you're going to regret for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Ugh. It really, one of the many scenes in this film that got into my head. Yeah,
me too, man. It's a great pick. I really wrote down. I wrote the whole movie, but I got to choose a scene. And as we've been talking, I think that opening kind of, sorry, I can't think of the word. The opening kind of tracking shot of all them skating. I love skateboarding so much. I miss it. I miss skating a lot. And I miss that inevitable bond that it creates. That, we're doing this thing that a lot of people don't like, and it's looked at as rebellious. Pairing that, these guys just kind of shredding through Rockford, pairing that with the piano. And then I have the advantage of seeing the movie over and over, that I know what's coming after. So watching that opening scene is it's like the calm before the storm, and it's placed so perfectly. And the title card, minding the gap over the city, is just such a perfect touch. And I really couldn't live without it, man. I couldn't live without this movie. It's so important to me. I've been very grateful to talk about it on this episode. This episode went way longer than I anticipated. But at the same time, I knew somewhere in my heart, it's there's a lot here, though. It's an hour and a half, but there's about 2 weeks of shit to unpack. It is a wild ride. It's on Hulu, always will be on Hulu. You can buy it on Criterion.com. You can find interviews all over the place of these guys. This shit is important. Storytelling is very important. And opening up yourself to these guys' lives is one of the best things you can do, because it'll teach you something. It'll give you some sort of relatability, while also showing you, holy hell, this is someone's life that I have no knowledge of. And that's one of my favorite things art can do. So I've been very grateful to do this movie. I've had a blast with you, man. But the whole movie itself is the Deacons. It's the whole hour and a half. That's for sure.
That's fantastic. I love the passion. That's ultimately what this is all about, is passion. And yeah, it's clearly felt here. Gee, I wonder what your score is going to be.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. Yeah. Yeah, 5 stars on Letterboxd. Always has been. A movie that's very well reviewed on Letterboxd, which is great, which is cool. It's nice to have a movie that you have always liked be well received on there,
Yeah.
Because there are some movies I love that people just tear to shreds, and I'm like, fuck, my heart.
Always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But I'm always I found something in this that you didn't. So who won really here?
Yeah, exactly.
Minding the Gap is an 8 for me. It's a fantastic, insightful look into 3 very real, very damaged, but not irreparably, lives. Yeah. And I'm very glad that I finally watched this, and that, it's helped me kind of push me further into documentaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was going to happen eventually. It just I needed a tipping point.
there's more like this, there's more that are like narrative driven the way this documentary is. I think you'll find out that, oh shit, there's a whole nother kind of level to documentary making, and this kind of filmmaking is so special and can teach you a whole lot, while also providing, really cool cinematography, really cool direction, really cool dialogue. It can give you all that stuff too.
Fuck yeah, man. Basically for me, an entirely new genre of film that I've barely tapped into has now been opened to me. And that is like fucking finding yourself on Jurassic Park. So I'm excited.
Life finds a way. Oh man. Yeah. This is amazing. This is one of my favorite things we've ever done on anything Filmgazm related. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. Next week is no sleeper. One of my favorite kind of movie minds is Paul Schrader. Paul Schrader has written a lot of cool movies, has directed a few cool movies, and his new film, The Card Counter, comes out next week. That'll probably get talked about on Sneak Preview.
Yeah.
So right before that, so the Sunday before that, next weekend, I want to talk about Taxi Driver. I want to go to 1976. I want to go to the 49th Academy Awards. Taxi Driver was nominated for 4 Oscars. And I want to talk about probably Paul Schrader's masterpiece when it comes to writing. Martin Scorsese, of course, the director of Taxi Driver, but he didn't write a lick of it. It is all Paul Schrader. He didn't have any help. It was just him, and is one of the most, intense dialogue driven fucking one-man show movies you can ever encounter. And one of my favorite Scorsese directed movies of all time. Maybe my favorite. I love The Last Waltz, another documentary that he directed. But as far as, feature films, narrative-based films, fictional films, Taxi Driver is probably my favorite Scorsese movie. So to go to this place, not just for, Scorsese's sake, but for Paul Schrader, a guy who just gets overlooked from his era, a guy who's only been nominated one time for First Reformed. He was up for Best Screenplay. So that disappoints me a lot that he hasn't been kind of spotlighted more. He wrote Raging Bull, like fucking, this guy, him and Scorsese had still do have a really cool friendship. Scorsese is produced The Card Counter. So I feel like this is the right place to go. I've wanted to do Taxi Driver forever on this show, and it feels like the time is now. So please come back next week for episode 67, talking about Taxi Driver, a 70s classic.
There's certain when you tell people you have a podcast based on the Oscars, certain movies are going to be expected.
Yeah.
Taxi Driver is one of those films where people are like, so you did Taxi Driver, right? Not like, well, now, yeah. We had a lot to talk about first.
Yeah, for sure. And there's so many cool ass movies.
Yeah. So much has just been touched even a little bit by the Oscars that there's a limitless like rainbow of films here that we have access to talk about. So we don't always have to do these, expected classics, but still it's fun to dive into, a legendary film like Taxi Driver, which I have only seen one time. So this will be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be an absolute blast, man. What do we have tomorrow on Sneak Preview, and what's going on this week?
Well, obviously, big fat Marvel movie came out.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, Caleb and I will be talking Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Very nice.
Which, spoiler alert, fucking rocked. So it's gonna be a fun episode. And then on Wednesday's Filmgazm, it's Caleb and I again digging into one of his all-time favorite films, 2000's Pitch Black, starring Vin Diesel as Richard B. Riddick. Old Dick Riddick is coming on Wednesday.
Here we go.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting film, interesting episode. That's for goddamn sure. Well, this was fun. This was what's the term? Cathartic. There we go. Cathartic. Yeah. There we go.
100%, man. I've been wanting to do this since I first watched the movie. Yeah. Before I even knew what Filmgazm was.
You're just like, I got to talk about this thing.
Why are we yelling? Yeah, no, it's definitely like that. I knew you when I saw this in 2018. I had met you, but we hadn't done all that. We hadn't created this podcast journey yet, and I didn't know what to do. Until now.
Well,
I feel okay. I can go to sleep now.
Fuck yeah. Watch this movie, everybody. Even if you're not really into documentaries, this is a heartwarming tale of just life itself. So go ahead and check that out. It's worth it. Hulu will always have it. It's a Hulu exclusive. And thank you so much. I hope you got something out of this. God knows we did. We'll see you next week.
Peace.